Everyone surviving so far. Nope, they are not. Getting hit.
Look at goes forward. What a move! That's some late braking, and that's what you want to see. Lots of pressure put on the McLaren driver, but he's dealing with it like a boss.
Hello and welcome guys to the stream, hope everyone's doing well. And today we're basically just going to be doing some practice. We're going to do a quick LFM race first, which starts in about half an hour. And then we will do some practice for RCI next week. maybe a bit of practice for Zolder as well on Monday, but I might not start practicing that till tomorrow. We'll wait and see. But we need to have a little look at Indy today, and also maybe a bit of Zolder as well, so we'll see how we get on. But first of all, we'll do a bit of practice for LFM, do a quick LFM race, and then, like I say, we'll do some practice at Indianapolis, because we've got a 6-hour race coming up next Saturday, so I could do with getting a bit of practice for that. It's about a 50% chance that it rains on Saturday next week, so the setup is going to be very interesting, because it's going to have to make a setup that can drive in both the dry and wet conditions, because it looks like it could basically be 50-50 as to whether or not it's a dry or wet race. I think it's like 47% chance of rain and 50% chance of dry and 3% chance of a full wet race. So there will at least be some showers across the weekend, whether that be in qualifying or the race. So we'll need to have a look at that and get some practice. Haven't really done much Indianapolis at all. I think I've driven it twice since it's come out. I did a hot lap and track guide with it in the BMW when it first came out, like that weekend. And then I did one race in the Audi, and I think that's it. I don't think I've touched Indianapolis since then. So we need to reacquaint ourselves with that. I know Indianapolis fairly well, the old variation, but the variation that this game uses is different to Project Cars 2, so I sometimes find myself nearly missing the middle sector because I automatically want to use the other variation that I'm used to. So just have to watch that. Got this fry right on my bum starting my lap because I messed up that chicane. Oh, touched the gravel, that wasn't ideal. This is a bit of a messy first sector. Porsche does feel really nice to drive at Barcelona though. I've driven, I think BMW's probably, no sorry, McLaren as well actually. BMW and McLaren are the only two other cars that I've driven here, so I don't have much to compare it to, but out of the three, Porsche's definitely the best I've found to drive here. Pretty sure it has the world, it's either the Porsche or the Honda with the world record here, I think, but we need to check that on AOR. Certainly very, very quick, the Porsche here. Ferraris also look quite quick, certainly in the LFM races. A lot of the Ferraris are near the top at Barcelona. And the BMW used to be very competitive here as well. I'm not sure if it still is, but it used to be very competitive at Barcelona. But obviously there has been a number of updates since I used to drive the BMW, so I'm not sure how competitive the BMW is at this track anymore. BMW is usually very stable, but sometimes suffers from under rotation or understeer, so tracks like this, especially in the races, it does not like the tyres at all, especially in the endurance races. Like the Porsches, obviously not great, especially on hot temps here, but every car's like this at Barcelona. You do struggle with tyre wear often because there's just so much load on the left hand side of the car. But the BMW seemed to be the worst car I've driven here for tyre wear, just because it was so understeery. But that could have been the setup. But yeah, you do need to make sure you've got good rotation with your setup for endurance races. Now I've completely messed up there. Just take a detour. It'd make things interesting if they actually use that variation on the straight where you go left. I don't really think it would add much overtaking opportunities though, but it would make it a little bit more interesting. Instead of just having a straight, adding a couple extra corners. Because there's quite a big curb as well when you come back onto the straight. It's very easy to lose the car on. Bit of understeer there, that was not a great first two corners. Turn 3 was okay but slow. There we go, that was a bit better. I do occasionally lock up in that hairpin, so I have to be careful with my braking. I don't lock up because you lose so much time if you go too deep into the hairpin. That one I messed up there, that hairpin as well. Final chicane, try not to clip too much curb. Didn't clip the curb, but I had a little bit of a slide as I got on the throttle, which wasn't great, so the lap time wasn't very quick there. Got enough fuel for one more lap. Tyre temp's almost perfect, so that's good. Just go out, do this final lap, and then we'll have to get some more fuel. Not the best of first sectors, still improved by half a tenth, but it still was a bit very slow the first two corners. Bit of a slide. Still 2 tenths up. Oh, I braked myself. Oh, lost nearly 2 tenths in that corner. And I messed up there. Yeah, we just need to get some more fuel now because that lap is too messy. We've got 20 minutes and then we can join the server. So I'll just load some fresh tyres, some more fuel, and we'll go out again. Right. So a lot of time in the lap, we know that was a slow lap, but car feels really good and track temps are not too bad, 30 degrees. 31 degrees track temp, 24 degrees air temp. So temperatures aren't too bad. The car feels good as well. Just got to watch the sliding in some corners. That I don't slide too much, especially on the power. Either coming off the brakes too quickly and sliding, or getting on the power too aggressively and sliding. because it just costs a lot of lap time. Oh, that was super wide at the hairpin. Maybe that was the cold tyres or I outbrake myself. This hairpin I lock up at the most because it's downhill and fairly tight. That's the one that I either lock up or miss the braking point. That corner you've got to be careful with, and this one as well for track limits, especially in endurance races. This one is very easy to get a track limit warning on the exit curb there. I actually got a track limit warning for going wide at this hairpin once. I outbraked myself, went deep and over the curb, and it gave me a track limit warning. Didn't gain any time because when I came back on track, because I outbraked myself, but because it thought I gained time by going off the track, I got a track limit warning, which was rather annoying because we already had 3, so it gave me a drive-through, which was a bit of a pain. Especially when I didn't actually gain time either. I think it was on my outlap or the lap afterwards, and I just hit the brakes and just missed it. Right, tyres aren't quite up to pressure, but we'll still try push and just see what kind of lap times we can do. Finding with Barcelona, the 3rd lap is usually my best. So the out lap and then the first flying lap, the tyres are still warming up. But the second flying lap is usually the best one. That's usually when your tyres are in the window, that second lap. Because the first one, as you can see, my tyres aren't quite up to pressure yet. The lap after this are usually in the window. That's what I personally find. It depends on your setup and how you drive on the out lap as well. If you warm up your tyres in the out lap, then maybe your first lap will be your best, but it just depends. A little bit slow up the hill there. Lost a couple hundreds. Oh, that's invalid. Just a little bit too wide. Was 2 tenths up in the first sector. Up to that point, I mean, sorry. Oh, what was that Honda doing? Put the car into reverse and get off the racing line. Don't just sit on the exit curb. Poor Ferrari was on his lap and the Honda was just sat there. There's another Honda sat there. I wonder what's happened to him because he's facing the wrong way. Maybe he's spun or something. Trying to return to garage. I think that Honda on the exit of the hairpin was trying to press return to garage and he just couldn't do it quick enough. So this lap, try and not invalidate it.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
2 tenths up, or just over 2 tenths up in the first sector. Hairpin was nice, another 2 tenths in the hairpin. A little bit late on the brakes. Didn't lose much time there. Oh, that's invalid. Messed up the braking a bit. Just a bit early on the brakes for the hairpin there. Could have been a bit later on the brakes. Seemed to slide a lot on that hairpin we just went through. That was a bit better until the exit.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Okay, got enough fuel for 2 laps. So we'll do another 2 laps and then we'll get some fresh fuel. Still got about 15 minutes or so, I think, at least, until we can actually join the server. So we'll probably do one more qualifying run after this, and then we can actually join the server. That's nice. That hairpin was... Oh! What happened there? Must have just clipped the curb on the entry there. That was weird. Completely through my front right tyre. Just unsettled the car completely. Haven't done that before there. Must have just went to the curb a tiny bit too early. Just really unsettled the car. Okay. Right. Final lap of fuel. And we've got about 12 minutes until we can join the server. So we'll do this lap, get some fresh fuel, and we'll do like 3 laps or so. And then we'll probably have to go join the server. Got a little bit of understeer mid-corner there, which wasn't ideal. Bit wide.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
That right under. It's maybe a little bit slow. Far too early on the brakes there, lost 2/10 in the hairpin. Okay, we'll need some more fuel now. And we've got about 10 minutes, so we'll go out, do an out lap, and then like, I don't know, maybe 3 flying laps. Will maybe should get 3 flying laps. And then we'll have to go join the server.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Car feels amazing on the outlap because you have so much more grip. almost makes the car feel well, not the car actually, sorry, the steering almost feel heavier on fresh tyres because you've got more grip. Whereas as the tyres start to fade, almost makes the steering actually feel lighter because you're sliding so much. Let's go.
Yellow flag in sector 2. Yellow flag ahead. Watch out.
First sector was decent, a 10th up. That was obviously better, didn't go onto the exit curb like I did that other lap. 2 tenths up, a little bit slow on the exit of that hairpin though. Bit faster up the hill. And invalid and understeered. Good first sector at least. And middle sector was alright up until that point.
Yellow flag in sector 2. Slow car ahead.
We'll just back off a bit so we don't catch a sidey. Try not to invalidate it this time. Oh, understeered. Hit the power down too early. How's it going, Pata? Oh, a bit slidey through there. Oh, invalid again. Car feels good though, but in qualifying we'll really have to make sure that we get a valid lap to go. Good to hear, Pata. Yeah, all good, thank you. Been up to much today? So far we haven't done any racing yet. We've just done a bit of practice. So we're about to jump into an LFM race and then we'll be doing some practice for an endurance race next week, and we'll maybe also do a bit of practice for the sprint race on Monday. But we'll wait and see. do this lap and then one more, and then we'll have to go wait for the server because we won't have enough time to go out again. Have you done any racing recently, Pato?
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Thank you to the BMW for letting me through there. Messed up on that lap though, only 10th up.
Well done, mate.
Final lap with this fuel load. Have you done much racing recently, Pato?
Yellow flag, be careful there.
We actually had some good LFM racing last night, so hopefully we get a clean race, and then we will go do a bit of practice with RCI. Because actually I had some really good battles last night. This lap is slower, but we're just going to do it anyway because we're just going to have to wait on the server launching anyway, so that may as well do a bit more driving. Oh!
Got some light damage on
Sorry.
the car.
I thought he was going to spin to the right there. That was completely my fault. That was completely my fault there. I thought he was going to spin to the right there, but he spun, but he saved it straight in front of me. That was my bad. Yeah, here, I thought he was going to spin to the right, so I just went here, and then he saved it, by which point it was too late to actually avoid him, so that was completely my fault. Ah, not racing just now. Ah, right. Have you been up to much today then? Work or just today I myself was working on the windows, although it was raining for most of the day. But it's at least starting to get warm weather now, which is good, because when it's cold and it's wet, then it's just horrible. But yeah. Are you streaming on Twitch? Yeah, Pat, we're streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So just multi-streaming at the moment. So yeah, you can tune in on whichever platform you prefer. Some people prefer YouTube, some people prefer Twitch. So I just stream to both at the same time, so you can just tune in whichever channel you'd like. Right, that's the server opened, or should be opened. Split one, so we'll just join that. How's it going, Mile? Thanks for tuning in. It's Manual. Manual's in the race we're about to do. For reference, Manual was our teammate he was a very quick driver, and he raced for Ballas, and we actually did our very first endurance race on PC. He was one of our teammates, him and Joris, and then he just never said. A little while after that race, he just stopped messaging and just left the team. Never said anything why, just left the channels, didn't reply to any messages. Very weird. Did this servers just die? No? Still working. Ah, there we go. No, I can't. After an accident, I cannot do much with my hands. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Pata. Sorry to hear that. Is it permanent damage, or will it heal over time? We have a we've got the 25th lowest license out of 27. So hopefully we can make up some yeah, low rating. $24.30. It's okay, permanent. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Pata. Hope you still enjoy watching the streams and that still. But yeah, sorry to hear that, Pata. So we've got 12-minute quali session. I get used to it. Yeah, I know one of my friends actually has something where he can't, one of his hands he can't use fully. But you do just learn to get used to it, sort of thing, but also still be able to do other things as well. So my friend, for example, he can't use one of his hands fully, but he's like, his other hand and arm is like super strong. So yeah. Honda's so quick on these straights. Notice it less than Barcelona, you only notice it really on the home straight. The other straights, they can't really reach its top speed, I don't think, before the end of the straight. So it's only really the home straight you have to worry about. By the way, what's your name? Thought I was going to go into the bathroom, sorry. My name is Cody. K-O-D-I. It's a weird way to spell it. Most people spell it differently. I have a weird or unique spelling, but it's just pronounced Cody. Let's try get a bit of a gap.
Slow car ahead.
And then go. Yeah, that's what the way that most people would spell it. So I've just got a weird spelling, but that's how you say it. And then as you see on the leaderboard, the surname is Cosford, which is also a bit of an unusual name as well. Car's feeling really good at this session, to be honest. It's actually feeling like I've got quite a bit of grip just now. As I say that, I completely lock up and miss the braking. And miss the apex. Brother of Jack Corsa. Nice last name. Thanks. It's at least got Ford in it. Would have been nicer if it had like Ferrari in it, but it's at least got a car in the surname. I think I need to own a Ford at one point in my life, just for the surname. Messed up the final chicane there, but that was a rubbish lap, so I wasn't really too worried. Because, yeah, it was a very, 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 very slow lap. This Ferrari should let me go. Thank you very much for not exiting right in front of me when I'm about to start a lap. Thank you very much, Ferrari. A little bit of a slide there. Nah, I think if I got a Ford, it would have to be a Ford Mustang. There isn't any other Fords that really appeal to me. Or a Ford GT40, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to afford one of them. Maybe buy a replica. Get a Ford Mondeo and put a Ford GT40 body over the top of it. There you go. Then you're still using public transport and a car at the same time. Have you looked at getting a car, Milo? Because you said you were having a look at getting something. Have you seen anything yet? Oh, that was also a very, very slow lap there again. Very slow. Let's try to get a fast lap in. We'll do this lap and then we'll get some fresh tyres and fuel. Does your dad not want you to get a Honda Civic, or does he want you to get a good one?
Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
Oh, understeered it. Messed up there. You have to tell me what the Civic. You have to say that you're gonna go buy the Civic. I really need to get a good lap together though, because that's kind of rubbish. The lap I have so far. 44.3. To be honest, I was gonna buy a Honda Civic for my first car, and I got a Skoda Octavia Estate because I got a really, really, really good deal on it. So it was hard to say no to it. So I've got a very practical car. I got roof bars for it as well, and it's got a tow bar, so it's a very practical car. And it's a good engine size as well. It's a 1.6 diesel turbo. So it's a good engine size and very, very practical. But I got it for half of what it's actually worth, so it was very hard to say no to it. and it's been great so far. I've polished it all up and that, got the roof bars, I've got some nice seat covers and that coming, and I need to get like a boot liner or something for the boot, but it's 13 years old and it feels really nice to drive, and it's super smooth as well, even though it's 13 years old, so it's a really nice car. But yeah, if you're trying to get a Honda Civic, you can definitely... Oh, I'm going to hold up someone behind me. That Ferrari, he might be on it. Ah! That Honda in front of me just stopped in the final corner. And I then had to stop, but some of those guys were on push lap, so sorry to anyone that I blocked. Oh dear, you would puncture your wheels. That's quite funny actually. You just need to make a list of every reason why the Honda Civic is better. You need to get a spreadsheet and write the pros and cons of each car, and then say why you should buy the Civic. Oh, nice. I think mine's a second generation, I can't remember. Because it's a 2010 plate. Well, the lap times aren't as good as they were yesterday, that's for sure. I got a new grill for mine as well because my grill broke. Well, it didn't break whilst I was driving it. It was broken when I bought it. So I bought a new one. The parts for the Skodas are very cheap. Like, I bought a front grill. Not the metal bit, just the like plastic bit of the grill for like £25. And I'm pretty sure that included delivery. And it makes it look so much better, having the new grill on it. Yeah, just keep sending in Hondas. And a spreadsheet of the pros and cons of Hondas and Skodas. Until he lets you buy your Honda Civic. Does he have a Skoda Octavia? Does he have the saloon kind of type, or does he have the estate type? Oh, that was horrible. Yeah, has he got like the sedan version or the like estate? Well, at least improved by 4/10 in the final lap, but that was a rubbish qualifying. Especially compared to the lap times I was doing yesterday, that was a bit rubbish. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've got the, I think you call it a wagon. I've got the estate one. It's got so much room in it as well. It's really good for that, just the practicality. get so much stuff in the boot. And I got the roof bars for like 25 quid because someone was selling them second hand, so I got them really cheap. I had a look and I think they were like £200 to buy brand new roof bars, and I was like, I don't really want to pay £200 to get them brand new. And then I found them on second hand for like £25, so I just got them and they've been fine. I haven't actually needed to use them because my plan to use them will be like in the summer when I've got like paddle boards or something to go on them. So I haven't actually put anything on them, but I've put them on my car. Although I'm not sure if I'll keep them on the car because they do make a bit extra noise. So I'm not sure if I'll keep them on or not. Apparently they also lower the miles per gallon, so I might just put them on during summer when I'm actually using them, but I'm not sure. I think it kind of looks a bit more of a fun car when you've got the roof bars on them. Okay, fresh set of tyres, fuel, ready to press drive in a few seconds.
30 seconds.
There we go. Right, let's have a good race, guys. Starting P20 on the outside. Very bad qualifying, but let's try and make it up in the race. 25-minute race, and then we will go do some practice at Indianapolis and maybe some Zolder practice as well. What time is it just now? It's 6:30, so yeah. Well, let's see what we can do. Get some practice in. Try to get a good start. The other ones that I did last night, I seem to have a bad getaway off the line. Well, it's a rolling start, so you don't start at a line, but I seem to get a bad getaway when it goes green. But into the first corner I seem to be getting quite good starts because I was able to brake a bit later. And also if I had no one in front of me, I didn't end up compromised. I was able just to brake as late as I want. Yeah, I will keep an eye out for any problems with it. Hopefully don't get too many issues. But yeah, electronics are usually the thing that fail. Cars nowadays have too many electronics and everything. Before they were very mechanical and easy to repair, whereas now it's you've got to plug in your car into a computer to find out what's wrong with it. Oh! Big crash on the home straight there. They were going about to go 4 wide there, and then I just saw them all crash out on the mini-map there. Not sure what happened there. Nice little start for us though. I think that's 3 positions up. Nice little start. But yeah, a big crash on the home straight there. I got a bad getaway off the line again, and I think they went 3 or 4 wide, and then someone must have made a misjudgment and they all crashed out. Ferrari a bit squirrely on the exit. Gonna go around the outside of the Ferrari if we can. Want to be careful with our safety rating because we got our safety rating quite high up, so we don't want to lose it. Send it on the inside maybe.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
There we go. McLaren a bit wide. Putting the Ferrari under a little bit of pressure if we can. Oh no, I've got a Honda right on my bum going onto the home straight, which is never ideal. Porsche always seems to get a great exit out that chicane. It just struggles for the top speed, but you at least get a bit of breathing space. We're right on the bum of this Ferrari, which will hopefully help us a little bit. Alright, yeah, try get your rating back up, Sparky. If you make sure you stay clean and don't have any crashes or that, then it's usually not that hard to get back out of rookies. But it is sometimes hard to get out of rookies avoiding crashes, because there is a lot of crashes in the rookie series. But you can stay out of trouble. It might only take you 1 or 2 races and you'll be back into the Coach Dave series. Well, we're at least up to P15 from P20, so that's at least 5 positions we made up in the first 2 laps or so, so that's good. We'll just need to keep building on this and try and make up some more positions. I mean, yesterday we made up 5 positions in 1 lap with 5 minutes to go. We just had 2 crashes up in front of us and we gained 5 positions with 5 minutes to go, so that was quite nice. So anything can happen with these sprint races. We just hold on to the back of this Ferrari. He'll help us on that home straight with the slipstream, and then we can just, if any crashes or that happen, then we can take advantage. We'll just keep putting the Ferrari under pressure, trying to force him into a little mistake so we can get an overtake done. But yeah, Sparky, let me know when you get out of rookies and then we can do some LFM racing. Ferrari very slow out of the first corner there. Wasn't anywhere really for me to take advantage of it though. Alright, nice, Sparky. I think we'll probably do this one and then we're going to have to practice RCI because we really need to get some practice for Indianapolis and maybe a bit of Zoda practice, but if you keep getting your rating up then hopefully we'll be in the same split when we can do some LFM racing together. This split has been quite clean, apart from whatever happened on the home straight. There hasn't been any crashes or that so far, even though everyone's so close, which is nice to see some clean racing, similar to what we had last night. Some good battles without everyone just taking each other out. I think people are, especially in the top split, are a bit more cautious with like safety rating and stuff. They're actually some cleaner battles as well when you are battling. And I have fallen behind to the Ferrari. This Honda's gonna have a go at me surely. Gonna have to defend the inside back to the outside. And he's not gonna be able to get moved done there. Able to hold on to P15. Need to try catch back up to that Ferrari because I lost quite a bit of time in that final sector. Oh, I messed up. What's happened to the Aston there? He's dropped back quite a bit. Oh, he's a back marker. Thought he was for position. Oh, we are going to catch him at the worst possible time there. Right on the racing line. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I'm not sure if that was my bad if I turned in there. thought I had the racing line there, but if that was my bad, then I apologise. That was a really awkward time to catch the ass in there. I had to go. He was right on the racing line there when we caught him. I'll have a look at the replay with the Honda there that I think I might have turned in there on him. I couldn't really give him any space though because I had the Aston on the outside. Just couldn't actually really give him any room and still turn in for the corner. Going 3 wide there is not a good idea. Giving us a little bit of damage. I'm not sure what happened to the Honda. I think he lost 3 positions. Oh, I cooked that. That was not very good by me at all. I think I've overheated my tyres a little bit. Got to try cool them down. That Ferrari's gaining massive amounts of time on me on the swing straight, but thankfully far enough ahead that he shouldn't be able to make a move there. No worries, Milo, take care. Got 15 minutes to go this one. Got to take care of my tyres because with the sliding I have overheated my tyres quite a bit, so we've got to be careful with them. We've got this Ferrari right behind us as well. Hopefully he gets a bad final sector so we can have a bit of breathing space on the straight. This McLaren seems to be dropping back a bit because he's got a bundle of cars up in front of him and he seems to be dropping back. Maybe he's either made a mistake that lap or he's maybe got damage, I don't know, but he's definitely dropping back from the cars in front of him. He's pulling away from us in sector 1. Did lose time in sector 1 though because I went a bit deep on the last lap. We are gaining on him and he's falling behind from the cars in front, so he's definitely, his pace is definitely dropping off. Either that or he's got damage, or the other thing is maybe he's got like 3 track limit warnings and he's being really careful. That's another possibility, but either way he definitely seems to be dropping back. Oh, that was a big slide by me. Shouldn't have used that curb. Shouldn't have used that curb either. Ferrari's gonna have a chance here.
Car on the right.
Am I gonna be far enough alongside to defend?
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Able to defend the inside line there, but that was a close call. Lost a bit of time to the McLaren that lap. That BMW's right on the back of the Ferrari now though. So hopefully that means that the Ferrari's going to have to defend a little bit, which will hopefully help us a little bit.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
Twelve minutes to go. Ferrari still quite close to us. Pace is definitely dropping a little bit. Well, 12 minutes to go. If we can defend from this Ferrari, that would be nice. Like I say, he's got that BMW. Oh, that's our first track limit warning. Since he's got that BMW right behind him, hopefully he's going to have to start defending, and that will obviously let us pull away a bit if he does have to start taking defensive lines. If we can back him off into the BMW, that would be ideal really. Oh, wrong curb. He's flashing me, but I clipped the curb, which is why I had to lift off the throttle.
The car in front of sector 3.
If I stayed on the throttle there, I think I would have just spun. BMW and Ferrari going side by side now though. Ferrari looks to have stayed ahead for the time being. Oh, what did I do there? Messed it up on the brakes.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. We've got light damage in the rear.
Oh, BMW's right on our bum now.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Ferrari and BMW going side by side. Nice little move by the Ferrari. Oh, did the Ferrari just take out the BMW, or who took out the BMW? BMW got sent flying there. Okay, now we've got a bit of a gap after all that. I try and focus. Getting a bit of sliding, but I think I've just overheated my tyres a bit. You can see that the car is sliding a little bit. It's just from my tyres being cooked. Drive through for track limits number 16. He's actually in front of us. He's got the fastest lap of the race. P6 has a drive through, which will probably mean a free position for us. That must be annoying though, running P6 and fastest lap of the race and then get a drive through. But he's got fastest lap of the race, so he's obviously pushing hard. And he's maybe just pushed a bit too hard. Surprising to get a drive through though in a 25-minute sprint race. You must be pushing very, very hard to get a drive through within 25 minutes. Staying out on track for the time being. We'll see when he serves it. Hopefully he doesn't leave it too late, because if he leaves it too late it just disqualifies you. Stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane for the Bentley in 23rd. Who's that in front of me? Oh, that's the Bentley. Stop and go. I didn't see anything about drive through for him. It was only that Corsa that's currently P6. That's the only one I saw a drive through, so I'm not sure why the Bentley was even in the pits. Unless he's loaded the wrong setup and didn't have enough fuel. Oh, number 12 also with the drive through for track limits. That's two people. Number 12 is behind us though, so that doesn't benefit me at all. Six and a half minutes to go. Oh, Ferrari putting us quite wide. That Honda trying to get 2 in 1 there, and he nearly had us both. That Ferrari putting us very, very wide though. Couldn't really defend. Able to get back past the Honda, but still behind the Ferrari. Whoa! What? What was that? That's destroyed the car. What happened there? That was a weird one.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I'll need to see the replay of that. I have no idea what happened there. Thought we both had space. Hit the brakes. Just went flying there in the braking zone. That was a weird crash. My car is absolutely destroyed though. Well, there goes a bit of safety rating, and unfortunately our ELO as well. Because we started P20, got up into P15, and that's a bit annoying actually, so near the end of the race as well, dropping down to P21. That was a really weird crash. Number 6 Honda. Would have also gained another position from the that guy with the drive-through. Oh, my car is just destroyed now. Oh, no way. That Porsche that had the drive-through just got a stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. insult to injury there. Getting a drive-through and a stop-and-go penalty for serving the drive-through. That must be gutting. I just have to be careful I don't get a bunch of off-tracks now the car's destroyed. I just have to... I've got 2 laps left, just try and get it home. I think I've got 2 laps left anyway. But yeah, I've just got no steering. I'll have a look at the replay after the race because that was a weird, very weird crash. Like I say, I thought we both had space, braked for the corner, and no idea what happened there. Either I've moved to the left in the braking, or he's moved to the right in the braking, or we both moved at the same time. He's come over to the right thinking there's space, and I moved over to the left thinking there's space. But I need to look at the replay before I know what actually happened there. And we've got 2 laps left actually, so we've got the end of this one and then we have 2 more laps to go. Oh well, that was a bit disappointing. Yeah, these off tracks are just going to wreck my safety rate.
Car on the right.
I just need to drive slow
Clear on
and
the right.
get to the finish line. This is penultimate lap anyway.
Okay, your leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
Just awful to drive this thing with this much damage. It's just like not turning. Quite simply, just not turning at all.
The leader has finished the race.
Right, we've got the final sector and the end of sector 2. You can go have a look at the replay, find out what happened. let's have a look at the replay and find out what happened. Was it him? What a weird... What a weird crash. Let me message him and see. That was so. It's going to cost me quite a bit of safety rating, that race. LFM website not working, that's helpful. Right, so what happened here? It was like he just drifted into us. I definitely left the space, I think. I move over to the inside. And then I move over to defend. But there's plenty space for him here. So how do we have this contact that sent me out the race? Let's have a look at my POV. So as you see, I move out. At the time of the hit, my wheel is straight. So I'm holding my line. What about his? That was weird. It doesn't even look like he turned his wheel either. Oh man, we went from 6.77 safety rating I went from 6.77 to 6.24. I didn't actually lose that much ELO. I lost like 20 ELO, which is fine, but I lost a lot of safety rating. That's just a really weird incident. That's weird. Because he seems to stay straight as well. And from my view, it looks like I'm slowly drifting back to that lane. And just the tiniest of touches. Yeah, that's a weird one. How big of a crash for the smallest of touches there. That was a weird one. What are we gonna do now? Shall we do RCI practice? Now, I was looking, and it did in fact say it could be wet, which it currently is damp. So yeah, I'm gonna download a setup for the Porsche, because I don't have one yet. The Porsche seems very, very slow actually. What's the... On Popometer, the quickest lap is in a Ferrari, a 33.6. 33.6, and the fastest Porsche lap is a 34.3. That's 7/10 of a second slower. 7/10. That's actually quite a lot. That's quite a big difference. Obviously in the wet it won't be as bad because you don't notice the BOP as much, but still that is quite a margin. So what I'll do right now is I'll just load the setup. I've got a dry quality. Oh, my File Explorer always crashes. It's so frustrating. And I've never managed to fix it. It's really annoying. There we go. Indianapolis. Okay, so this is what we'll do is we'll load up the dry race setup. We'll go 26.5 on all tires. We will change the traction control and ABS, change the wet tires, brake pads too, and we'll go out and try this. I'm just going to nip to the bathroom quickly and I will be back in 2 minutes. So let's try this out. Let's try this and see how we get on. So just go out. The Astons are going to be quick, like very quick. The Aston is good at this track. Like I say, I think the Ferrari may be the best here. Looking at the popometer, but I've just downloaded a setup for the Porsche Alpha popometer. But like I say, it's 7/10 lower than the Ferrari hot lap, so quite a difference. But this gives us something to start with, and we can adjust it as we go. But to make it balance, I think we are going to have to adjust a few things, like I did for the Imola setup. I think I did it for where I had to make it balanced. Yeah, it was the Imola setup. So we have to make it both wet and dry compatible. This is only damp conditions though, so this is fine. Wow, it feels good. Just out the box, it feels actually quite nice to drive. But at the same time, it actually feels like I'm driving on dry tyres on a dry track. In all honesty. Because you get so much grip on a damp track with the wet tyres that it doesn't actually feel that bad. This feels fine. Literally all I've adjusted is just the like traction control and that, except from obviously the tyres and brakes. I haven't even adjusted the brake bias yet, and this feels perfectly drivable. But it's a damp track. There's literally zero standing water at the moment. So let's lower the brake bias down to minimum, and let's see what we can do with this. I haven't driven Indy in a while. I'd love to see Daytona on ACC. Daytona road course. That would be nice. It's a good track for endurance racing, Daytona. Yeah, even on full tank, this feels really good, to be honest. But like I say, it is only a damp track, so with some standing water it could be worse. It'd be nice to try it with some standing water on the track so I can actually see how the car handles if I need to adjust it a bit. Quite slow to start off with, but that was only our first wild lap. But yeah, this doesn't feel like you're driving in the wet because there's so much grip. This kind of feels like driving on a dry track with dry tyres, but like green track conditions. So like slidey but still dry. It does not feel like you're driving on a wet track at all.
Well done, mate. That's our fastest lap.
Car feels really nice to drive in the damp though, to be honest. Feels quite nice. Don't really need to adjust the setup much. Just the things you can adjust whilst you're driving, like the traction control and brake bias, but mechanically there's don't really need to adjust anything. This would be fine. Quite happily drive with this. Like I say, if it's going to be a bit heavier wet, then it would be good to try it, because if it's a lot heavier rain and a lot of standing water, then I would like to soften the rear of the car up a bit. But to be honest, for a damp track this feels absolutely fine. It would be nice to try it on a dry track as well. But yeah, this feels really good. At least that straight, the Aston, even in the slipstream, even though he gained on us, it's not as bad as tracks like Barcelona is. So we don't have to worry about the straight line speed as much, because the straight isn't too long. But will be a little bit of a concern, but at least it's not massive. Same with this straight, isn't that long, because you've got this variation where you have the right here. Whereas on the Project Cars 2 variation, you didn't have that extra bit of the track. You came out the third corner, and then you were onto the straight with a lot of chicanes. So yeah, this is a little bit of a different variation to what I'm used to on Project Cars 2. But it's actually really works in the Porsche's favour, because the straights, that straight isn't anywhere near as long. Green sector 1, red sector 2. Oh, I outbraked myself. Just pushing the braking zone a bit too hard there. Need to adjust the tyre pressures quite a bit though. adjust the tire pressures now actually. But yeah, in all honesty, that feels fine. That feels absolutely fine. So yeah, all I'll do is lower the tire pressures. So I've realised why it's so good. This setup, this race setup, I've just looked and it is super soft mechanically. It is very, very, very soft. The dampers are fairly high as well, but the mechanical grip is super, super soft. So that'll be why it's so good, or feels so good without me adjusting anything, because it's already a very, very soft setup, which is what you want in the wet, really, is a nice soft setup. So right, what I'll do is I'll save this as a damp setup. Closer to the race, I actually do all the different setups and the tyre strategies and stuff, but yeah. This is light, wet and a damp track, so it's not even a wet track, it's not got a lot of standing water, so to be honest it's absolutely fine. Right, let's go out on track again. I haven't adjusted anything except the tyre pressures, but as you can see it's pretty much static weather, light, wet and damp track. It doesn't look to be changing at all. If anything, it will actually be getting drier the more more people join the server and the more people that are actually on track. So yeah, like I say, I would obviously, we've got until Saturday next week, but we will definitely need to do some practice on like a medium wet track or something, just to see how the car feels. But like I say, the suspension and wheel rates and that are already, and the roll bars are already quite soft, so I don't think there's really much else for me to do. And if this works in the dry, which it is a dry setup, so it should, well, if it works in the dry and is quick in the dry, having it this soft, then that should mean that's also really good in both the wet and the dry. So it's already a balanced setup. Even though it's a dry setup, it's so soft that I think I could use this in full wet or medium wet conditions. Just obviously adjusting the traction control and ABS, maybe putting the them a bit higher is about all we would need to do, I think. It's probably why it feels like it's got so much grip though, because it's so soft. In the damp conditions and the wet, it does like to slide a bit on the final corner, so do have to be careful with that, just the oversteer there. But apart from that, it feels really good. Just got to practice the braking and acceleration points, what curbs I can and can't use. With it being a damp track, you can use quite a few of the curbs, especially on the apexes. It's usually just the entry curbs that you need to avoid. But yeah, this feels quite nice, to be honest. Quite nice to drive, actually. Bit of a slide there, but still gain time. That was nice, gained about a tenth there. Oh, I hit the sausage curb there. That's the word I was looking for, the sausage curb. Used the flat curb and I just went over it and clipped the sausage curb. That's what unsettled the car so much. Well, green sector 1 and 3 there, but slow middle sector on that lap. So a lot of time in the lap. It's just, like I say, actually practicing this track, because I haven't driven it in ages. And I've only driven it twice, I think. But I do actually really like Indianapolis. It's not really used much, but it's a really nice track to drive, and there's a lot of overtaking opportunities, so it's a good track for endurance racing because of all the overtaking opportunities. But the pace right now is definitely slow, so I need to find some pace, which is why I'm practicing now, just over a week before the race. That was a bit better there, 2 tenths up. Okay, just under 3 tenths up there on the delta, down to 42.5. A bit too much curb in turn 1 there. Unsettled the car just a little bit too much. And that was slow as well there. Just messed up my line a little bit. Right hand side tire pressures are perfect. Left hand side's a little bit too high still. Just set a PB round Spain in quali 44.5. Nice, 44.5. BMW is a nice car to drive there as well. Did you do an LFM race then as well, Sparky? How did you get on? Or have you just done qualifying? Oh, that oversteer. That's scary. Does not like that curve at all. Alright, have a good one then, Sparky. Have a good race. Let us know how it goes. Left hand side tyres definitely seem to heat up a bit. That might just be my driving because I'm trying to learn the track. I'm sliding a bit more than I should be, but might also just be this might be a bit like Barcelona where there's a lot of load on the left hand side. Thanks. Thank you, Will, and do enjoy practice. Thank you, Sparky. It maybe it's just that there's a lot of load on the left and these are wet tyres and it's only damp track, so it's not quite full wet yet, which is maybe why they're overheating. Just a little bit. Tyre pressures are almost spot on though. Just need to lower the left front especially by just a couple clips. That was rubbish. On par with the Delta, so not fantastic in the first sector. Thing is it looks like the Porsche isn't one of the quickest cars here, but it is good in the wet, so if it is a wet race it will actually probably work in our favour because the Porsche isn't the best car here, but it is one of the good cars for wet conditions, so it should work in our favour should it be a wet race, or I hope it does anyway. It would be nice to have like a full wet race and not one where it changes every 10 minutes. Oh dear, that was not good, that was not good.
There's some light damage at the left.
Let's just tyre pressures a bit. Just thinking what we could do. yeah. Could go out do some more laps, and then we could maybe do some races against the AI here in the wet. Because that would be a good bit of practice. See how the car feels in medium wet conditions. And then could also do with doing a bit of practice for Monday also at Zolder. So we'll probably check the tyre pressures and that, do a couple laps, and then we'll maybe do some races with the AI on heavier wet conditions, and then we will also do a bit of driving with the Porsche at Zolder for Monday, because I need to practice that. There should be a practice server, but I need to check the weather conditions and the pit stop rules and everything. Hopefully it's going to be a dry race at Zolder. I don't really like driving Zolder in the wet, to be honest. I did I think it was in the last season we did a sim zone in the Porsches and we drove it in the wet, and to be honest I wasn't that big a fan of it in the wet actually, Zolder. I think it was better in the dry. Some tracks it's actually better to drive in the wet. There's more excitement, more overtaking opportunities, more can happen, but in Zolder I just find, especially since you need to use so much of the curbs and things, it was a lot harder to drive Zolder in the wet. Whereas in the dry I would say there's a lot of action as well, especially with the massive chicane curbs. Oh, bit of a slide. Oh, another one. That was weird. Maybe tyres weren't up to pressure there. Seem to just have no grip going on there. Touch the curb on the entry. I think it's shouldn't really use that sausage curb on the apex. Don't think it's really any quicker. If anything, it's slower because I can't get the throttle down on the exit. Oops. Tire pressures seem a bit better, a little bit low, but I'd rather there be 1 or 2 clicks low than too high. Because if they're too low, then it doesn't matter so much. Whereas if they're too high, you can't really do anything about it. Bit of oversteer there on the braking. Yeah, those pressures are a bit better. Oh, too deep there, Cody. Messed that up. Right, let's go do some races with the AI because I want to test it with a bit more rain. Right, let's go to single player, quick race, Indianapolis, medium rain, AI, starting position, 15th. So a bit more rain, we'll go
Right, we have some wet conditions.
full tank of
Watch out for
fuel.
curbs and exit, and remember to brake early.
No, noticing, guys. You know what's interesting? Look at the fuel tank. Oops, I do apologise. The fuel tank is 107 litres at Indianapolis. But some other tracks it's 115 litres. Some track, I'm not sure which tracks. I think there is 1 or 2 tracks that it's 120 litres. But it's weird that different tracks that the max fuel tank is different. Especially when we, if we need to run a high engine map or anything, but yeah. So this is the first try of it on an actual wet track. So as you can see, the rain's a bit heavier, but also the track is actually wet. It's not damp. So this is a good test to see just how the car handles. Also, a lot of spray, which makes it a bit interesting when you're battling. On lap 1 especially. Alright, let's see what we can do. Try to get a good start, and like I say, we're just testing, seeing how the car feels. can literally see nothing with this spray. Go completely offline just so we can actually see something. Getting a bit tight in the first corner. Oh, BMW got completely murdered there by the Audi. Nearly took the Porsche with him. Rest in peace to the BMW. Oh, bit of a slide there. Like I say, this is the dry setup, just with different ABS and traction control levels, and obviously wet tyres. But because it's the dry setup is so soft, this actually doesn't feel that bad in the even with a wet track and medium wet conditions, which is actually really good because then the dry setup can stay the same, and for the wet we only need to adjust brake bias and traction control and ABS, which you can all adjust whilst you're driving. But I don't think we need to adjust anything mechanically because I think this is drivable in the wet.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
It's just the final corner that I seem to constantly get a bit of aquaplaning. Apart from that, it feels fine. Definitely get a bit of aquaplaning though. I can't stop. I can't stop. Sorry, that was... I tried to brake the same place I would if it was damp conditions, and I could not slow the car down there. Whoa, that was a weird one. That's a weird spin.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Just spinned it on the brakes there, that was a weird one. Oh, yellow flag behind us. Definitely seems slow in the wet though. Definitely I need to find a bit more pace. Even just compared to the AI, we're definitely quite slow in the wet conditions. Oh, I've done it again. What is going on? It's really weird. It just wants to spin there in the wet. On the braking. It's just... I must be doing something really wrong with my brake pedal there. it didn't spin that time. Third time's the charm. But yeah, definitely feel a bit slow in the wet. Just definitely need to practice driving in the wet a bit more. That lap was a bit better, but still quite slow.
We are halfway through, not over yet.
Okay, we are gaining the Honda now, so the pace is getting a little bit better. Because earlier the Honda was pulling away from me.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh! Honda tapped the brakes there. Did not expect that.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I think he tapped the brakes to try and stay on the dry line. The AI is like programmed to stay on the dry line there, but
Clear on the right.
obviously did not expect him to tap the brakes there on the straight. Did not have the grip on the outside there. Might be able to overtake him into the braking zone though. Nope, not close enough to send it there.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Almost lost the rear of the car there. That was not ideal. See there, the AI brake there instead of just letting the car drift out wide. It's weird. It's like they're trying to follow the same line as what they do in the dry, so they just tap the brakes. But obviously here following, you do not expect someone to tap the brakes there at all. Three laps to go. And as I say that, I nearly spin on that curve. Get a good run on him if we can. Just try catch back up again. Lost quite a bit of time that sector. Finish P10, nice. Well done, Sparky. Good race. Was it fairly clean? Lots of battles, or how was the race? Oh dear. Oh, that's good. Yeah, you do sometimes get a bit of door banging in some LFM races. Track limit warning. Did I cut the apex there maybe? That's weird to get a track limit warning there. 2 laps to go and then we'll do one more. And then we'll do a little bit of Zolder practice and that'll be us. Are we going to get close enough to the Honda to overtake him this time? Penultimate lap right now.
Car on the right. Right, man. The leader is on the final lap. Give me the final push. Clear on the right.
Oh, there we go.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Nice little one round the outside. Final lap now. See if we can get the ass in.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
Doubt we'll be close enough. But still worth a shot. Oh, are we going to get the Aston in the final, second last corner I should say, sorry, not the final corner. Second last corner, just nipped by the Aston, just before the end. Try not to spin on the final corner now. Oh, it's going to be a drag race to the line though. No way, is he going to get us with... Oh ho ho. Less than half a tenth separating us at the line. That was close finish. That was a close one. Right, what we'll do is we will just do one more and then we'll either finish up the stream or we'll do a bit of practice for Monday. I just need to check LFM if anything's updated from that race. See if that guy replied, because I just said to him basically that I'm not really sure what happened there, because I thought we both had space and then we both went flying, so he hasn't actually replied though. But yeah, so we lost 19 ELO, but we lost 53 safety rating. Well, 0.53. My wheelbase is actually super hot right now, because we have done a lot of driving actually. That is actually very hot. That is quite hot actually. We might actually leave it there. I was going to do one more, but that my wheelbase is getting very hot at the moment, so I do not want to risk it burning out. But to be fair, it is we have done quite a bit of driving. We've done like 2.5 hours straight. We haven't really given the wheelbase a break at all, whereas usually it gets a break after like 2.5 hours or so. So yeah, it's just a bit hot, so I don't really want to push it, because in the manual it does say use it for about an hour and then take a break, but I can't really use it for an hour and then take a break, because most races are about an hour. But yeah, so tomorrow, what day is tomorrow? Friday. So most likely do a stream on Friday at some point. If not, then I do apologise in advance, but I will try and get a stream tomorrow done if I can. Most likely be during the day, because I've got something else on at night, and I don't think I'll be able to do any streams this weekend. I will be streaming on Monday night for the next round of the PLR World Tour, so that'll be good. That's at Zolder, so we'll see how we get on. So yeah. But as always guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I do apologise for ending the stream a little bit early. But as always guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.